Hello, good morning to everyone. Welcome to my channel Elecom Edu. Today's topic is Minterm and Maxterm realization of Boolean function. This is a very biggest topic, so I am going to take it as a 4 parts. So the first part, which is Minterm and Maxterm realization of Boolean function. We will get into the topic. What we are going to cover by this today's class. So lecture roadmap. First, you are going to learn recap for gates, truth table, and the terms. This is a foundation for all the digital logic system. So by the second session, you are going to learn on minterms explanation. So in this minterm explanation, I will tell you what is the definition for minterm rule as well as the full 3 variable truth table. So by the third session, you are going to learn Maxterm explanation. Same like as minterm. What is the definition for Maxterm? What are the rules you have to follow as well as full 3 variable table. Okay, right. So quick recap for the 3 basic gates. So you already know there are 3 basic gates. So what are your 3 basic gates? One is your AND gate. Another one which is your OR gate. And another one which is your NOT gate. So these are the 3 basic gates, right? Okay. So you already know there are 7 gates. So in the 7 gates, these 3 are the basic gates and OR and NOT. And it is having 2 universal gates as NAND and NOR, which is a combination of NOT gate and AND gate as well as NOT gate with OR gate. And there are 2 derived gates, XOR gate and XOR gate. But here you are going to learn on the 3 basic gates. So the 3 basic gates are the foundation for all the digital system, which is the AND gate. Next one, it is a OR gate, and the next one, which is a NOT gate. See, in this AND gate, what is the AND gate? See, there are 2 inputs. Can you able to see? The inputs are A as well as B, right? What is your output? Y is equals to A dot B. So 0 dot 0. See here you consider it as a dot. Okay, just to consider it is a dot representation. 0 dot 0, 0 dot 1, 0, 1 dot 0 as well as 1 dot 1. Okay, 0 dot 0 which is 0, 0 dot 1 which is 0, 1 dot 0 which is 0, 1 dot 1 which is a 1. So check only this last column 1 dot 1. So output is equals to 1 only if all the inputs are 1. See here A is 1 as well as B is 1. The way you are getting A dot B is equals to 1. That is your first gate AND gate. So the next one which is your OR gate, right? What is a OR gate? OR gate is a addition product. So you have to consider OR gate is a positive, right? Here it is, consider it as a positive representation, right? Okay. So in this positive representation, right? 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 0, 1. As well as 1 plus 1, 1. See, these 3 outputs are actually 1, right? Means that any one of the input should be 1. See here B is 1, here A is 1. You can consider either A or B in the last case. So the output is equals to 1 if any of the input is 1. Next is a NOT gate, right? So NOT is nothing, it is a complement. You have to remember in this way. So NOT is nothing which is a complement, right? So complement in the sense inversion of one to another, okay? So if A is equals to 0, the output is 1. So output is 1 in the sense A bar. This bar represents the complement. This bar is nothing which is your complement, okay? So when A is equals to 1, A bar is equals to 0, right? It is a default value because 1 is inverted to 0 as well as 0 is inverted to 1. These are the three basic gates. If you want, I will try to draw the symbol for AND gate, right? So this is a symbol for AND gate. This is a symbol for OR gate, and this is a symbol for NOT gate, right? So these are the three gates whatever we have to consider, right? Okay, clear. I hope this is clear for you. So next one, in the next slide, you are going to see about the Minterm definition, okay, because that is your second session, right? Right. So before that, please check over this, the anatomy of truth table, okay? Right. Anatomy of truth table, right? So truth table lists the output of Boolean function. Truth table lists the output of Boolean function for every possible combinations of its input variable. See here, how many input variable we are using? 3 input variable, A, B as well as C. So what is your output? F is your output. Here I want to recollect you this part, that is your 4 to 1 code. I hope you remember this 4 to 1 code. Where you studied this 4 to 1 code? You studied there at your octal representation. Okay, right. So A, B, C are your input. I mean, write like this. 4 is equals to A, 2 is equals to B, and 1 is equals to C. Okay, right. So 0, 0, 0, right? I mean, your decimal is 0. Next it is 0, 0, 1. Decimal is 1. 0, 1, 0. The decimal is 2. So it will goes on the last one, which is 7, right? 1, 1, 1. So how I have written the function F0, F1. What is this subscript 0 represents? Which is your decimal representation. Subscript 1 represents decimal 1 representation. Subscript 7 represents decimal 7 representation. Okay. So the truth table lists the output of Boolean function for every possible combination of its input variable. Okay. Right. See here, what I have written it as 2 power n rows, right? So n in the sense that is a 3 input variable ABC. So 2 power 3 in the sense it is a 8 possible combination. If you have 2 inputs, consider your inputs are A and B. So how many combinations you will get? 2 power 2 is equals to 4 combinations you will get. Okay, right. At the same, if suppose your input is 4, just assume you have 4 inputs. So what are that 4 inputs? Consider it as A, B, C and D. So what will be the result? 2 power 4. So 2 power 4 is equals to 16 combinations. Okay, these and all I have told you in the earlier classes itself, right? So 2 power n rows, right? Here, what are your input columns? Input columns are your A, B as well as C. Your input columns are A, B and C, right? What is your input column? Input column is having one input variable. What are that one input variable? It may be the combination of zeros and ones, right? Right. So what is your output column? F is your output column, the outermost orbit, right? That is your output column. So it is a function of this particular representation, the combination of that. Okay. This is just the anatomy of truth table. So truth table means truth table must have input, and truth table based on this input, truth table must produce some output. Okay. This is a anatomy of the truth table. Okay. Next it is a building blocks. So here, please remember you have to know these two terms. One is a literal and another one it is a terms. Okay, one is a literal and another one it is a term. Okay, so what is the literal? First you should know what is a literal. Literal in the sense it is a single variable, either in its true or complemented form. So here I will tell you what is a true form and what is a complemented form. Consider this is a literal A. This is a literal A bar. What is the difference between these two? A in the sense it is a true form. It is a true form. A bar in the sense which is a complement. Right? Okay? Right. This is a literal. So it is a AR A bar, what I mentioned. Okay? Next it is a product term. So product in the sense already you know what is meant by product. It is A dot B. So if it is A dot B, what do you have to use? You have to use it a AND gate. Okay? Right. Product term. The literals combined with the AND dot. The building block of SOP representation. So SOP expression. What is SOP? What is SOP? That is sum of product. What is SOP? It is sum of product. I hope you can see here. Sum of product. Right? Okay. Right. See here. This S represents the sum. This O represents the of and P represents the product, right? Okay. Next it is a product I have written here. So what is this dot represents? It is a product form. What is this A represents? It is a literal. C is also a literal. B dash is also a literal. But what is the difference between A, C and B dash? B dash is a complemented literal. A and C are the true form of the literal. Next it is a sum term, right? When will you get the sum? By having the addition operation. When will you get that addition operation? Whenever you are using a OR gate, right? So literals combined with the OR plus the basic building block of the POS expression. What is again POS? So from that word itself you can understand what is P? P is nothing which is a product. O is of and S is a sum. So POS is product of sum. So POS is nothing which is a product of sum. This is a product of sum. Okay? Right. Next it is a complement rule. Right? What is a complement rule? What is actually complement? Dash. B convert to B dash. That is a complement. When will you get that complement? Whenever you are using a NOT gate. Right? So, the prime symbol hash dash marks a complemented, not literal. Example, A dash means not A. Right? So, these are the building blocks, literals as well as the terms. Okay? Right. Next, here you are going to learn what is Minterm. Because I am going to introduce two things here. Okay, one is my Minterm and another one which is a Maxterm. So you will learn both the parts by this lecture. Okay, Minterm as well as Maxterm. What is a Minterm? Right? Minterm. See the definition. Minterm is a product or AND term. Right? What is a Minterm? Minterm is a product or AND term that includes every variable exactly once, right? Uncomplemented in the sense the variable is 1. Complemented in the sense it is 0. It equals 1 for exactly one row of the truth table. Okay, please check over this example. What is the example I have given? ABC is equals to 101. What is this ABC represents? Those are the literals. What is this ABC represents? Those are the literals, right? Okay. What is this 101 represents? Those are the binary variables. So, which already known by you, right? Okay, right. Okay. So, we will see the example. Example ABC is equals to 101. First to check over the rules, right? Alright. So, what is the rule here? Bit value may be 0, otherwise bit value may be 1. If bit value is 0, what it means? It is an uncomplemented form. I mean the literal is A. When bit value is equals to 1, so what it means? That represents it is a complemented form A bar, right? Okay, so check here. what is coming at this part. So how many bits you have? 3 bits. One is A is equals to 1. The next bit B is equals to 0. The next bit C is equals to 1. So A and C are in uncomplemented form, but B is in the complemented form. That's why I have shown the different color. Orange color which shows the uncomplemented form. Orange color which shows a complemented form. A and C are the uncomplemented form. So complemented in the sense what you have to do? You have to use bar. That's why instead of B, we have written it as a B bar. Okay, this is your Minterm. So what you have to remember in the Minterm? The Minterm in the sense, first you have to follow the AND rule. That is the first point. Okay, first one you have to remember. What is the second one you have to remember? 0 considered as a complemented form, 1 considered as a non-complemented form. Okay, these are the things you should remember for your Minterm. Right? Okay, right? And one more thing. In the Minterm, you have to write the letter small n because it is a min, right? Min in the sense it is a small case letter. So that's why M. Here I have represented the 5. Can you guess why that 5? Because what is the number you are using? 101. Based on 421 code. What is the value for this? 4 plus 1, which is 5. That's why here I have represented it as M5 is equals to A dot B bar C. Okay, these are the 3 rules you have to remember for your Minterm. Okay, right. So next, 8 Minterms of 3 variables. So what is that 8 Minterms of 3 variables? I am trying to recollect. So 3 variables. So what is a 3 variable? You have to write it in 2 power n. What is your 2 power n? It is 2 power 3. What is 2 power 3? It is 8. How to write this 8? Should be written in your 421 code. That's it. Okay. See here, Minterm. What is your decimal? It is 4 to 1. So means that 8. 8 in the sense what is your octal representation? 0 to 7. See here. First decimal is 0. 4 to 1 code is 0, 0, 0. Already you know, if it is a Minterm, you have to use a small m. What is this 0 represents? Decimal. Right? If it is a Minterm, 0 is considered as a complemented form. That's why you have written it as A dash dot B dash dot C dash. Next decimal is 1. 0, 0, 1. M1 A dash B dash C. Why C? Because C is 1. 1 in the sense which is an uncomplemented form. 2. B is an uncomplemented form. 3. B and C are the uncomplemented form. I hope you can see. B and C are the uncomplemented form. 4. A is a uncomplemented form. A. 5. A and C are the uncomplemented form. 6. A and B are the uncomplemented form. 7. All the 3 values are uncomplemented form. Right? That's why here you are writing it as A, B, C, and what is the value here you are getting? It is M7. Right? This is a 8 Minterms of 3 variable. Okay? We will see one worked example. Right? Row to Minterm. Right? So Minterm for the practice. Take a row of 5 of the truth table. Right? So 5 in the sense what is for ABC? 101. Convert it into Minterm. You already know. B is equals to 0 here. Right? What is there? Please check this. B is equals to 0 here. If B is equals to 0, what it means? It is a complemented form. So what you have to write? You have to write it as A dash, B dash. A is equals to C is equals to 1. Then what will be the result? A, C will be coming as such. So AC, B dash. Right? We will see what is the value we are getting. Right? So what is your step number 1? I hope till here it is clear for you. Right? Okay. So check your step number 1. So what is your step number 1? Step number 1, write down the bit pattern. What is your bit pattern? A is equals to 1, B is equals to 0 and C is equals to 1. What is your step number 2? A is equals to 1 means uncomplemented. So literal is A. Step number 3, B is equals to 0. B is equals to 0 means it is a complement. So literal is equals to B dash. Step number 4, A is equals to A over B over. Next you have to consider C is equals to 1. What is C is equals to 1? Keep uncomplemented. I mean it is a non-complement. So what is the result? M5 A dash A dot B dash C. So here the terms equal 1 for one row only. A is equals to B is equals to 0. Right? Okay. So this is a quick practice for the Minterm. Please try it yourself. Okay. See, I have given you the question here. Right? Okay. Please check over. Row is 16. Truth table ABC 110. What is the Minterm? Okay. Here I have given you the hint. Remember, bit 1 means it is an uncomplemented form. Literal should be taken as such. 0 means it is a complemented form. Literal should be complemented. After completing this, pass here, work it out, then check below what is the answer you are getting. Okay. What will be the answer? It will be A dot B dot C dash. What is the result? It will be M6. Next we will see what is a Maxterm. Okay, the definition for Maxterm. Check here what is a Maxterm. So Maxterm in the sense it is a sum or term. What is that one? It is a sum term or else it is a or term. Sum or term that includes every variable exactly once. Here what you have to remember? Complemented if variable is equals to 1 and uncomplemented if it is 0. If it equals 0 for exactly one of the truth table. Okay, right? Just inversion of your Minterm, right? Okay, rules opposite of the Minterm. That's what I said. It is a inversion of your min rule. So bit value 0, otherwise bit value 1. Bit value 0 in the sense here you have to consider it as a uncomplemented A. Bit value is equals to 1. You have to consider it as a complement A dash. Okay. Example we will take. Okay. See, A, B, C is equals to 0, 1, 0. So what is A here? What is your A here? A is equals to 0. What is your B here? Okay. C is also 0. What is your B here? B is equals to 1. Okay. Right? A is equals to 0 in the sense it is an uncomplemented form. What is your uncomplemented form? A. What is your uncomplemented form? C. But what is your complemented form? B dash. So that's why here I have written the literal is A, B dash, C. See here, A is equals to 0. So that is A. B is equals to 1. That is B dash. C is equals to 0. That's why it is C. But how you have to write? You have to write with the OR term. Please remember that you have to write with the OR term. So A or B dash or C. Next, what you have to remember here? The notation. There you used a small m, but here you have to use a capital M. Next, what is this value? 421 code, the value which is 2. That's why here I have written it as M2. This is your Maxterm representation. Okay, right. So 8 max terms of 3 variable. Again, I will recollect you. What are all the things you have to remember? It should be capital M, right? If 0 represented as well as 1 represented as. 0 represented as A, 1 represented as A dash. And here function will be equals to 0. But there the function in your Minterm function will be equals to 1. So this is the rule you have to remember. Again 3 in the sense 2 power 3 8. How will be the term? 0 0 0 till 1 1 1. We will see max term. So the decimal inputs are ABC, designation and max term. Right. Here what is the one more thing you have to remember? Maxterm means it is positive. See, all zeros. 0, 0, 0, decimal 0, capital M, 0, right? All zeros in the sense it is a uncomplimented form, right? So A plus B plus C, 1, C, 0. Only check these two values. So 0 means it is a uncomplimented AB. 1 means it is a complemented C dash, A plus B plus C. And one more thing, capital M. So 2, 0, 1, 0, M2, A plus B dash, A plus B dash plus C. 3, 0, 1, 1, M3, A plus B dash plus C dash. 4, 1, 0, 0, M4, A dash plus B plus C. And 5, 1, 0, 1, M5, A dash plus B plus C dash. 6, 1, 1, 0, M6, A dash, B dash, C. What will be the 7? 3 ones. So 3 ones means it is a complemented. So A dash, B dash, C dash. It is a max term. So capital M. What is the decimal value? 7. That's why subscript is 7. What is the basic logic you have to use? Plus. Okay. That is how this will be. Right. Now we will see some worked example of row to max term. Right. Okay. Check here. Max term practice. Take row 2. What is that row 2? What is the row 2? 0, 1, 2. How to write 2 in 421 code? 0, 1, 0. You have to convert it into max term. What is the 0, 1, 0? A, B, C. So how should be your A? It is a as such. How should be your B? Complemented. How should be your C? It will be uncomplimented. Okay? Because one should be getting complemented. Because what you are using? You are using it as a max term. That's why you have to write it as M2 is equals to. We will see how it is coming. What is your step 1? Write down the bit pattern. What is your bit pattern? A is equals to 0. Check here. Check here. A is equals to 0. That's what I have written here. A is equals to 0. Next, B is equals to 1. The same I have written here. C is equals to 0. The same we have written here. Step 1. What is your step 2? You have to consider whether complemented or uncomplimented. A is equals to 0. What will be your result? A, because it is a uncomplimented, literally 0. Step number 2, B is equals to 1. What is B is equals to 1? B dash, because it is a complement. C, step 4, C is equals to 0. Keep it as a uncomplimented, literal C. So what will be your resultant? Result is equals to M2, A, B dash, C. What you have to write here? It should be in the terms of plus. Okay. So quick practice. Try this by yourself. So this is a checkpoint what I mentioned you here. In the checkpoint, I have given you the problem. Row 3 of the truth table has ABC is equals to 0, 1, 1. What is this? It's max term. So hint, remember, bit is equals to 1, complement the literal. Bit is equals to 0, leave it as it is. Right? Pass here, work out, then check below whether the answer is right or wrong. Here what will be the resultant? A should be as such. So it should be A, B dash, C dash. But you have to use plus B. That's it. Okay? Right. We'll see what is the difference between the Minterm as well as the Maxterm. Right? What are the differences between Minterm as well as the Maxterm? Right? Okay. Minterm and Maxterm. So side by side comparison. So what is the first property? Property as your first, Minterm as well as Maxterm. So built with. So what is the gates you have to follow for Minterm? It is an AND gate, product term. What is for Maxterm? OR gate. That is your sum term. And what is the notation for Minterm? It should be small m. For Maxterm, it should be capital M. So the second one, equals 1 when, okay, Minterm Minterm is equals to 1. That means that it is a exactly one rows condition met. Here all rows except 1. Equals to 0 when all rows except 1 exact one rows condition met. Bit is equals to 1 if you consider it as a literal. So if it is 1 means that it is uncomplemented here in your minterm, complement there in your maxterm. Bit is equals to 0 literal, uncomplemented at your maxterm and complemented at your midterm. Okay, combined by. So here how you are combining? You are combining by R. Please remember this. Midterm we used to call it as sum of. By next class I will tell you how you have to do that. It is a summation. Okay. So combined by R. Sum of midterm. So maxterm we are calling it as a product. So you have to use the pi symbol. That is the AND product. Okay. Right. I hope you have a clear knowledge about what are the basic gates. That is the first slide. After that, I told you how to make the anatomy of the truth table. After that, we discussed what is the midterm definition, what is the max term definition, and how to define the literals for the midterm as well as max term. And we discussed what is meant by literals and what is the complemented form and what is the uncomplemented form and what is summation as well as the product. Okay, so I have given you some assignment questions also in this. Try to solve, and if you have any questions or any doubts, kindly post it in the comment box. Your queries will be answered soon. Thank you for listening this session. Thank you.